sets, example 13. So we're going to have a whole lot of examples of shading Venn diagrams. Okay, so then go ahead and number the regions like we did before. And we're going to do the union of set B and the complement of A. So remember that set B is represented by regions 2 and 3. Complement of A is represented by regions 3 and 4. And that means I will be shading regions 2, 3, and 4. Okay, that region, those regions are shaded at this point. And I would like to point out to you that what we have shaded here, we can rewrite in another way. We could represent other than the union of B and the complement of A. It looks to me like, let's look at the unshaded region. Doesn't that look like the difference of A and B? But we shaded everything else but the difference of A and B. So we want the complement of that. So I just wanted to show you that there are more than one way to represent this particular region here that we shaded. So it looks like difference of A and B, the complement. Okay, let's number our regions again. Okay, on this one we want the union of set A and the complement of B, but we want the complement of that particular union. So set A can be represented by regions 1 and 2. The complement of B can be represented by regions 1 and 4. So we're looking at the complement of regions 1, 2, and 4, which means that we will need to shade region 3. Okay, so that region 3 is shaded. And again, another side note, what does this look like? Doesn't that look like set B take away set A? So it looks like the difference of B and A. Okay. All right, so maybe you notice that we have moved from 2 set Venn diagrams to 3 set Venn diagrams, and so it's going to take a little bit more to number our regions, right? So this is region 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now, there's nothing magical about how you number these regions. It's just my way to communicate with you which regions I am talking about, okay? So we want to shade, looks like the union of the intersection of A and C and set B. So let's figure out what regions represent A intersects C. So let's look at sets A and C. What regions do they have in common? Well, that looks like 3 and 4. And then, of course, union B, set B has sections 2, 3, 5, and 6. So if we're going to shade their union, we'll be shading regions 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So it looks like we'll be shading everything except for regions 1, 7, and 8. Okay, so hopefully you have the same regions shaded that I do, and our graphs look very similar. All right, let's see what's going on with example 13D. I'm going to pause this and I'm going to go ahead and number my regions. Okay, so they want the complement of A union B union C. Well, that's everything that's in a set. But I want the complement of that. Oops, I kind of gave away the answer there. There's only one region that's not included here, so our complement is going to be represented by region 8, so we'll just shade region 8. Okay, hopefully we have the same thing shaded. It looks pretty much the same. Hopefully you stayed in the lines. Alright, let's see what we have here with example E. Be the union of the difference of A and B and the difference of B and C. So let me number my regions first. Okay, regions are numbered, so the difference of sets A and B, that would just be regions 1 and 4. So we look at set A and remove anything that had to do with set B. The union of that and the difference of B and C. So we're going to look at set B and remove anything that had to do with set C. So we're just left with regions 2 and 5. So I'll be shading regions 1, 4, 2, and 5. Okay. So naturally there's probably more than one way, no doubt more than one way that we could have used the symbols to represent these or to communicate these regions, but we'll get to that in example 14. Alright, as you see, I have already numbered my regions for examples 13F and 13G. So hopefully you'll take the time to do the same. Alright, so I would like the intersection of set B, which was sections 2, 3, 5, and 6, and the complement of A. So it's everything but set A. So that's got to be 5, 6, 7, and 8 even. That means the outside, right? Okay, well, what do they have in common here? Looks like the only thing that they have in common here is the 5 and the 6. So the intersection of B and the complement of A is 5 and 6. And then the union of that and set C, which is 3, 4, 6, 7. Those are the regions that make up set C. So if I want the union of those two, it'll be 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So those are the regions I will be shading right now. Okay, hopefully we have the same thing. Alright, so example G is the difference of sets C and B, but they want the complement. So the difference of sets C and B is going to be just regions 4 and 7. And I want everything but regions 4 and 7, so this is going to take a while to write down. 1, 2, 3, no 4, 5, 6, no 7, and 8. And I want the intersection of that and set A, which was 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it might be pretty easy to see what they have in common on this. So we're just going to shade regions 1, 2, and 3. Go ahead and keep it on when I do that because it's not so much to shade this time.